Hi Aries, and welcome to the Mother Tressa channel. If you're already familiar with this space, then you already know what to expect, so welcome back. But if you're new, then welcome in. So glad to have you here, and I hope that you are safe enough and or feel safe enough to be yourself wherever you may lie energetically right now in the spectrum, be it positive, negative, or neutral. That doesn't concern me so long as you leave better than you came, okay? Like this video, share it with other Arians that you know, and subscribe if you like the vibe and you want more of these videos, but also turn on that post notification so you're made aware as soon as I upload. Just because of how much is uploaded onto the space at one given time, it is so saturated, so you will miss me if you don't have that bell notification turned on, okay? Let's see what's going on right now for you Arians though. I'm seeing 5 of Cups, the Moon, the Queen of Swords, and the 2 of Swords card with the 8 of Wands, Lovers, Page of Pentacles, and the Tower at the bottom of the deck here. For those that aren't familiar with the Mythic Tarot deck, I will show you the cards and what they look like. You can always pause the video too with these cards as they're held up so you can become more acquainted with the energy and pull your own personal interpretations if you feel like this video itself does not resonate with you, as this is a general reading. So unless you book a personal session with me, which you do via email, which I leave in the description box, then most of this stuff is kind of left up to interpretation. And so yeah, if you feel like you're going through something else, or you see something else, or your intuition is calling you to pay more attention to something else that I don't necessarily touch on in this reading, then follow those signs and synchronicities until you get the answers that you are looking for, okay? But as far as transits right now, the sun is still in Virgo at the 23rd degree by Western astrology, right? And that number 23 has that Aquarian influence. Then you have the moon in Virgo at 0 degree. 0 is very potent because whenever a sign or anything is in its 0 degree, it is the most, I want to say the most stereotypical attributes of that sign itself will come out, or the luminary that it is in is where you will see it acting in its most natural and or pure state, okay, in pure form. There we go. Mercury is in Libra at 15 degrees. That number 15 gives you that Gemini influence. And then you have Venus in Leo at the 10th degree, which is Capricorn's energy, that number 10. So I feel like you guys right now, some of you guys, you're going through blues. You're feeling a little bit more sad and or a little bit more stressed out than you normally would, maybe because of all of the pressures that you have to ensure that you are taking care of all of the responsibilities that have been assigned to you here with this Swords energy. Also with the 8 of Wands and the Page of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, I feel like you guys are working on something, or you're striving towards accomplishing a great feat that maybe you guys are second guessing with this Swords energy and believing is at the point of being impossible for you. You guys are really questioning your faith and or questioning whether or not you can trust somebody else that you are currently working with. I was gonna say collaborating with. So that can be a struggle right now. I would just say be very careful with all of the blue that's coming through in this spread, that you are considerate when you are explaining your thoughts and feelings at this time. Again, because the moon is at the 0 degree, so it's in its purest form. And the moon is known for being volatile by way of not knowing and or understanding its own depth, right? Because the moon can only ever shed light on the surface of the water, and symbolically water is one's emotions and or feelings, right? And so if you can never see to the bottom of it, sometimes you never really know what the root problem is. And you can be having these emotional outbursts or reactions to things that were never meant for you to take so personally at this time, Aries. So just be very careful that you pause in between conversing with another person, just to ensure that you actually hear what it is that the person intended to convey, and vice versa, that you're being afforded that grace as well. And just having patience here while you have the ability to decipher what is being said, right? And again, vice versa. Just making sure that you are being very gentle with the throat chakra as you exercise it. Again, because if you are going to be basing things out of your own emotions, which can be misinterpreted with the Five of Cups, it can come from something that you may be slipped up upon. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but it can be like something that you read on Twitter or through like a Facebook post. And because you aren't in that exact space with the person, you don't really know what it is that they meant by what they said. So you can become triggered by things that are of your own subconscious turmoil that you've never dealt with, instead of what, again, that person wanted you to feel and or see with that message that was relayed. In terms of love, the heart chakra, some of you guys have recently made a mistake, or it might come up where you may slip up and say something. I don't want to say calling somebody a different name than what they were born with, right? But it can be just making like an insensitive remark, and or vice versa. This can be happening very soon. And so again, at this time, patience is required, forgiveness and compassion and understanding is required until you can get to the other side of this hiccup. For some of you guys, this is just being in a situation where you're getting mixed messages. And so at this time, clarity is extremely important to you. If you feel like you have to question the intentions of this person and whether or not they feel the way that you feel about them, then most likely the answer to that question is no. They're not in a space where they're ready to be receptive to love, and or they are not in a space where they are mature enough to handle the responsibilities of love and the action that is supposed to support one in love, right? So those things can be coming up for you guys at this time. I'm definitely getting that for those of you that have been in situationships or in spaces where you've kind of felt like you're walking on eggshells, or it's just a period of, I don't want to say indecisiveness per se, but where you're just not certain what's going to happen, then that means that the foundation that you've been trying to build it off of, the ground with, hasn't really been the most stable. And so that is going to come down with the Tower card at this time, but it allows for you to be more grounded and be more specific with what it is that you're looking to see and or to have in this experience that can come in next for you, okay? So just be very mindful when it comes to intention setting and or manifestation, and also the tools that you're utilizing at this time in order to see certain things transpire in your life. Be sure that you are, as much as you ask of the universe, that you're giving back in all the ways that you can, by donating, right? By planting seeds, very literally, like planting herbs, buying plants, and or going to plant a tree somewhere, or doing something where you're giving back to the community and or the world itself, making a, I want to say a donation for lack of a better word, but giving an offering back into the waters for as much as you use it, you know? So those things, but ensuring that you're using all elements when you're trying to manifest something in your life. So earth, air, water, and fire. Okay, all four are important in manifesting. And so it's figuring out what ways you can do that. By using candle magic, you're using the fire, you know? If you're implementing herbs into the candle magic, that's kind of like killing two birds with one stone. If you're going to take a spiritual bath and manifest that way, and or listen to music, things that have like a water undertone, or like the background noise is like water, then that's how you're doing it. In terms of like air, just also speaking, so writing things down multiple times and then reading it aloud until you see it before you, those types of things when it comes to manifesting. But as far as relationships, Those of you that are already in something that is a little bit more secure, I just feel like if you're not psychically attuned to the person that you're connecting with, where you can more readily read their minds and kind of already know what it is that they need, you will become a little bit more sensitive to the needs of other people. Also, with that moon being in Virgo, it's a little bit more analytical, where you're really able to more easily digest what is being said when it comes to one's emotional needs at this time, and vice versa in a partnership. That looks good and things progress forward, okay? You feel like you can really be seen for who you truly are, and you are respected as such, with the faults and all the beauty that you do encompass as an individual, okay? Being seen as a whole. Also figuring out how two can become one if some of you guys are on the verge of thinking about ascending a relationship more to like a proposal of sorts. Some of that is on the table, but again, for others of you, you're torn because earthly desires kind of need more of your attention right now. If you know that financially you're not in a place where you are the most secure, that is again what you're going to be working on here, figuring out how you can increase your cash flow so that you can give the world to the person that you love, and or vice versa. That's on the table for you guys here. Some of you guys, again, if you've been going through something that's been a little bit more tumultuous or challenging, more so than what is normal and or what's expected when it comes to dealing with another individual, then you are at the point where you're considering severing ties, making that executive decision. Again, before you just go ahead and do so, don't move off of impulse and or emotions and how you feel in the moment, but truly with the overall growth and potential of whatever it is that you are trying to collaborate with someone on. If you feel like it's been stunted for a while and despite you expressing your concerns, nothing has come of it, then that's when you know that the person's only trying to siphon your energy and it's time for you to move elsewhere. If you're dealing with somebody that again just cannot or does not have the ability to be disciplined enough to handle all of their responsibilities, then it's going to be a restructuring of that and figuring out ways that you can be of service to them to kind of alleviate that pressure that they can be experiencing, how you can be a teammate. Because at the end of the day, though you might have separate titles, there will come a point where somebody may need some additional coaching, right? And or assistance in order to get them back to a place where they can hold their own weight. So that happens sometimes in business and in love, okay? So if somebody's dropping the ball, then at this time, again, extend that grace and just understand like, okay, like we're working as a team to try to handle and eradicate the problem, as opposed to viewing each other as being the problem and then wanting to pick each other apart and be overly critical. Be very careful at this time also with all of these transits that you're not being too hypercritical of yourself and trying to tear yourself down, because again, you don't maybe see everything that you want to accomplish in order to have at this point in your life. And so you might feel like you aren't worthy of it or that it will never happen. Again, it has nothing to do with that, more so than it does with timing and just ensuring that you're actually prepared. So in this downtime, right, in this space where you're not really getting those callbacks and or where you're not involving yourself romantically with other people, again, figure out what you can do to further develop you as an individual, to make you more competitive in each space that you will exist in, right? To make you more competitive in the dating field, to make you more desirable in that way, and or in a workplace where people feel like they need your skill sets and they want to really pay you what it is that you're worth. So that's what's coming through, Aries. If this reading resonated, give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe. But if I don't hear from you, if you don't reach out for a personal session, then please just take care of yourself and soul until you see me again.